My parents skipped my wedding to attend my sister's housewarming, just because I wouldn't go to hers. I didn't cry when I saw the empty seats. I'd already done that 3 weeks earlier, when my mom texted me that she and Dad were so sorry, sweetie, but your sister's housewarming is the same weekend. Like it was a dentist appointment or brunch with friends. Not my wedding. Not the day I was supposed to walk down an aisle and see their faces beaming like this actually meant something. They chose hors d'oeuvres in a 2-bedroom rental over my vows. And I still showed up. I still wore the dress. I still said yes. People assumed they were dead. That's how empty their absence felt. Some cousin even whispered, "Oh God, did her parents pass?" No. Just prioritizing my sister's throw pillows and homemade sangria. I didn't go to my sister's housewarming 6 months ago. That's it. That's the reason. She invited me with this smug little message about finally adulting and bringing the vibes. I was working 2 jobs. My fiancé had just moved in. I told her I couldn't swing the trip across the state. She didn't even ask why. Just told my mom I was being jealous and distant. And suddenly, I was public enemy number 1. Not a word about the 4 years she spent ghosting the family when she moved in with that guy who screamed at her in parking lots. Not a mention of how I was the one who convinced our parents to help with her rent when she was broke and pretending not to be. I knew my parents picked favorites. I always knew. But I didn't think it would come to this. Not missing my wedding. Not sitting at the head table staring at my phone like an idiot, watching Instagram stories of my mom clinking glasses with my sister next to a banner that said, "New digs, who dis?" While I sat beside my new husband, who kept asking if I was okay. What the hell was I supposed to say? "Yeah, babe, I'm fine. My parents just blew off my wedding because my sister got a new blender." I didn't answer their text that night. I didn't pick up when my mom tried to FaceTime me during our first dance. I just stared at the screen and watched the call ring out. She left a voicemail saying she hoped it was a beautiful ceremony, and they were with me in spirit. I didn't even listen to the whole thing. I deleted it mid-sentence. The worst part? I wasn't even surprised. That's what broke me. Not the betrayal, not the absence, just how numb I already was to it. Like I'd spent years preparing for this moment without realizing it. Years of canceled birthdays because my sister had a meltdown. Years of being told to be the bigger person every time she flaked or snapped or spun the story until I looked like the villain. My entire childhood was a slow, quiet campaign to make me believe I was less worthy of effort. That my milestones were optional. I'd put up with a lot. I'd driven my mom to the ER twice when she had panic attacks. I'd helped my dad apply for disability when his back gave out. I was there. Every time. And now I was here, married, committed, doing something real, and they were clapping for a housewarming toast like that somehow equaled what I was doing. It didn't even register for them. They saw her buying a couch as a bigger event than me building a life. I didn't tell anyone how much it hurt. Not really. I laughed it off at the reception. Told people they had the flu. Said they were devastated to miss it. I even caught myself smiling in pictures, like everything was fine, like I hadn't been sucker punched in the gut. But when I got home, still in the dress, I sat on the couch and stared at the wall for 3 hours. Not crying. Not moving. Just sitting there. Like something had stopped working, and I didn't know how to start it again. The next morning, my sister posted a picture with the caption, "Best night ever," and tagged my mom. My mom reposted it with heart emojis. No mention of my wedding. No. Congrats to our other daughter. Not even a damn like on the few pictures I posted. It was like it hadn't even happened. My husband asked me if I wanted to go see them. I said no. Not because I wanted to make a point. I just didn't have the energy to keep pretending they cared. Pretending I mattered. Pretending I wasn't always going to be the backup plan when my sister had something shinier going on. That's when I knew something had shifted. Not in them. In me. They'd drawn the line. And for once, I wasn't going to chase it. I didn't block them. I just stopped responding. No replies. No explanations. No drawn-out conversations about hurt feelings or miscommunication. They made their choice, and I made mine. That was it. At first, it was quiet. A few texts. A missed call. Then the guilt started rolling in. My mom sent a long message about how life is short and family is everything. I didn't reply. She tried again, saying she didn't want to fight, she just wanted to talk. Still nothing. Then came the apology, if you could call it that. Something about how they didn't realize how important it was, and they thought I understood. Thought I understood what? That I'm the optional daughter? My dad tried too. Sent a photo of me when I was a kid, dressed up for Halloween. Said he missed me. I stared at it for 5 minutes before deleting it. I wasn't angry. Not anymore. I just didn't care. I'd wasted too much energy over the years trying to get them to treat me like I mattered. Now I was married. I had a husband. I had a new name. And I didn't need to beg anyone to take me seriously. My sister stayed silent. No surprise there. She always waited until things blew over. Then she'd pop back in with some fake friendly text like nothing happened. The last time she pulled that, I'd just lost my job. She sent a selfie of her new haircut and asked me to Venmo her for our half of Mom's birthday gift. That's the kind of person she is. Everything revolves around her, and when it doesn't, she sulks or disappears. 3 weeks after the wedding, my mom invited us to dinner. Said she wanted to make it up to us. I read the message twice and didn't even bring it up to my husband. I wasn't interested in forcing a nice evening with people who'd already made it clear they didn't prioritize me. I wasn't looking to be soothed. I wanted them to feel what it was like to be left out. People kept asking if I'd talk to them. Friends, extended family, co-workers who saw the photos online and wondered where my parents were. I lied at first, said they were sick or traveling. But eventually I just said it. They skipped my wedding to go to my sister's housewarming. I watched people flinch when I said it out loud. It sounded worse every time. And every time, I liked saying it more. Because it was true. Because I didn't need to soften it for anyone. I think that's when it started sinking in. That this wasn't just a rough patch. This was how things were going to be from now on. Not explosive. Not dramatic. Just nothing. No calls. No visits. Just distance. And I wasn't rushing to close it. My husband asked if I was okay with it. I told him yes. Because I was. I'd gotten through the wedding. I'd gotten through the silence. And now I was done waiting for people to act right. If they wanted back in, they could try. But I wasn't making it easy. Then my mom sent the text that made everything worse. One sentence. I hope you don't let this ruin our family. That's when I snapped. Because I was the one being blamed. I was the one ruining something. Not the people who didn't show up. Not the people who partied with my sister while I walked down the aisle without them. No. It was me. For not being understanding. For not pretending everything was fine just because she suddenly felt bad. That's when I decided I was going to respond. Not with a long message. Not with a breakdown of how deeply they'd hurt me. I just wrote, "You already did." She didn't reply. My sister finally broke the silence a few days later. Sent me a picture of her and my parents at brunch with the caption, "Wish you were here." I laughed when I saw it. Not because it was funny. because it was so pathetic it didn't even make me mad anymore. That fake cheer. That fake warmth. I didn't reply. I just blocked her. First time I'd ever done that. It wasn't about the housewarming. It never was. It was about years of being expected to bend, to smile, to let things go for the sake of keeping the peace. I'd done that for too long. And it cost me everything. My dignity, my patience, my time. Now, they could keep their version of peace. I was out. I didn't tell them I was changing my number. I didn't post any cryptic messages or unfollow them publicly. I just did it. Quietly. Cleanly. No fanfare. My husband thought it was cold. I told him it was overdue. They weren't going to come around. Not really. Maybe they'd send another gift. Maybe they'd make another half apology. But they weren't going to change. And I wasn't going to keep explaining why I deserved better. I did. And if that meant burning the whole relationship down to avoid repeating the same cycle, so be it. I didn't grow up dreaming of a wedding. But if I had, I wouldn't have pictured it like this. No parents. No toast from a proud mom. No father walking me down the aisle. But I made it through. And I did it without them. They made their choice. I made mine. I sent it a month after the wedding. White envelope. Generic thank you on the front. Inside, just a blank card with one sentence. Thanks for making your priorities so clear. I didn't sign it. No return address. Just dropped it in the mailbox like I was paying a bill. No anger left. No point in making a scene. That was the last contact I gave them. They didn't respond. Not at first. Then came the package, a wedding gift. Arrived 3 weeks late. No note, just a knife set and a receipt with their names on it. The kind of gift you give when you're pretending nothing happened. I didn't even open the box. I gave it to a friend who was moving into a new apartment. She offered to take the card out. I told her to leave it. Let them wonder what happened to it. Let them realize I didn't care enough to unwrap it. The real fallout wasn't dramatic. It wasn't loud. It was just nothing. No birthday call. No invite to Thanksgiving. No questions about how I was doing. Silence. My sister posted photos of her dog dressed up for Halloween and tagged my mom. My mom commented, "Cutest boy ever." And that was the most emotion I saw from her all year. Not even a thumbs up on the one wedding photo I posted with just me and my husband. No family in sight. I didn't bother tagging them. I thought cutting them off would hurt more. That I'd wake up regretting it, or missing them, or feeling like I needed to reach out. But I didn't. I got up. I went to work. I went home. I made dinner with my husband. We watched shows. We folded laundry. I lived. And nothing felt missing. That scared me more than anything. Not because it meant I was heartless, because it meant they were never really there to begin with. I used to think loyalty meant sticking it out no matter what. That blood meant something. That maybe, if I just waited long enough or said the right thing, they'd see me. Really see me. Not as the kid who kept things running while my sister blew up. Not as the fallback daughter who didn't demand much. But as someone worth showing up for. That hope is gone now. And it's not sad. It's just true. I've stopped explaining to people. When someone asks about my family, I just say we don't talk. If they press, I shrug. If they get uncomfortable, that's their problem. I'm not here to make it easier to digest. I got married and my parents didn't come. That's the story. Anything after that is just noise. My husband still tries sometimes. Says things like, "Maybe they'll come around." Or, "You know they love you in their own way." I don't answer. He means well, but he doesn't get it. He has a mom who calls him every Sunday, and a dad who tears up over baseball games. That's his life. Mine's different. Mine's quiet. And I like it that way. We spent the holidays alone. Just the two of us. Cooked too much food, watched dumb movies, stayed in pajamas all day. I didn't miss anything. No awkward small talk. No fake smiles. No pretending we were some version of normal. It was the calmest I've felt during a holiday in years. That said enough. My sister posted a photo of their family dinner. Everyone smiling. Matching sweaters. My name wasn't mentioned. My seat wasn't missed. My absence didn't leave a dent. That was the final confirmation. They weren't waiting for me. They'd already closed the door. I just didn't realize I was on the other side of it until I stopped knocking. It's been almost a year. No reconciliation. No confrontation. Just life. I got a raise. We're talking about moving. None of it shared with them. I don't feel guilty. I don't feel bitter. I just feel done. Sometimes people want a big ending. A dramatic goodbye. I didn't get one. I got a quiet exit. No applause. No closure. Just a slow fade into something that finally feels honest. I didn't lose anything. I stopped holding on to something that never held me back.